Good evening. Today the topic is about drugs affecting on heart failure. So in this topic, we talk about heart failure. So heart failure is also known as congestive heart failure, decompensative cardios, and congestive cardiac failure. Heart failure occurs when heart is unable to pump sufficiently or to maintain blood flow to meet the body tissues and for the need of metabolism. Then we talk about common etiologies of chronic heart failure. There is coronary artery disease, hypertensive, chronic lung diseases, tachycardia mediated cardiomyopathy, and myocarditis. And the last one is idiopathic. Then we have common etiologies of ADHS, which is new ischemia, new arrhythmias, concurrent infections, acute illicit drug use. Example: meth, cocaine, medication non-adherence, dietary non-adherence, med side effects. Then we have heart failure signs and symptoms, which include shortness of breath or trouble breathing, feeling tired, fatigue, dizziness, rapid or irregular heartbeats, palpitation, and fainting. Then come to the medication, which is need for congestive heart failure. Diuretics include hydrochlorothiazide, thiazide diuretic, torsemide, dimadex, furosemide, Lextic, and bumetanide, which is loop diuretic. Beta blockers include carvedilol, metoprolol, and bisoprolol. ACE inhibitors include lisinopril, tetoprevir. Angiotensin receptor blockers include losartan. Combination medicines include Entresto or sacubitril valsartan. Then we have aldosterone antagonists, which includes spironolactone, apleerone, and digoxin. Then come to the diuretics, which is thiazide diuretic. Thiazide are most commonly prescribed diuretics, which are most often used to treat high blood pressure and sometimes used to treat heart failure. Hydrochlorothiazide inhibition of sodium and chlorine co-transport. Loop of diuretics are often used to treat heart failure, which use torsemide, furosemide, and butanide, which is the inhibition of sodium, potassium, and chlorine co-transport. Then there is adrenergic receptors or adrenoceptors, which is a class of protein coupled receptor and that are target of many catecholamine or like norepinephrine and epinephrine, which produced by the body and may also medicated like beta blockers. So beta blockers are carvedilol and metoprolol and bisoprolol. Alpha 1 include vasoconstriction, which increase peripheral resistance, blood flow, increase also blood pressure. Alpha 2, which inhibits norepinephrine release, inhibit acetylcholine, and also release and inhibit insulin. Then come to the beta 1. Beta 1 increase heart rate, increase myocardial contractility. Then we have beta 2. Beta 2 is the vasodilation, it decrease. Beta 2 decrease peripheral resistance, and alpha 1 which increase peripheral resistance. Okay, then beta 2 also increase glycogenolysis. So many of the cells receptors bind that to the catecholamine to the receptor, which generally stimulate sympathetic nervous system. So the action of beta 1 receptor include increased cardiac output, which increase heart rate and conduction velocity and rate of relaxation of myocardium and increase renin and secretion. It increases renin secretion from kidney. Then we have beta blockers. Beta blockers are those medications which decrease heart rate, so or blood pressure. So the carvedilol is a non-selective beta blocker with alpha-1 adrenergic receptor antagonist property, and it maintains cardiac output by decreasing conjunction with cardiac beta blockade. Then we have metoprolol. It completely blocks the beta 1 receptor with minimal or on beta 2 receptors effect. It is an oral dose of less than 100 mg in adults. And metoprolol also decreases cardiac output by negative entropic and chronotropic effects. Then there is a side effect commonly reported in people due to the intake of beta blockers, and these side effects include the same like dizziness, difficulty sleeping or in nightmares, and then come to the angiotensin 2. It's the whole diagram. It's the ACE. These are the angiotensin 1, which indicate angiotensin 2, and both ACE come from the lung. Then we have angiotensin 2 regulate the action on AT4 receptor. AT4 receptor helps in cell growth or proliferation, which inhibit fibrinolysis, or and plasminogen activator inhibitor, which is PAI1, is the primary inhibitor of plasminogen activator in plasma, rapidly inactivating both tissues, plasminogen activator and urokinase type plasminogen activator. Then we have this is a flow chart which indicate angiotensin, it's a renin which comes from the kidney, and angiotensin 1 goes to the angiotensin 2. We further divide into AT1 and AT2, and AT1 goes into aldosterone. Here is the bradykinin, which causes cough, vasodilation, extracellular matrix. It is a drug which further goes into AC and cause inactive metabolites. And ACE inhibitors include drugs which are like lisinopril, captopril, and enalapril. These drugs side effects are dry cough, increased potassium, and also increase potassium level in the blood, cause fatigue and dizziness. Then there is another flowchart which describes combination medicine like beneficial physiological response of nitric peptide, and then there is another pathophysiological response of angiotensin 2. It goes into AT1 receptor. AT1 receptor cause vasoconstriction, blood pressure increase, and increase sympathetic tone. And in nitric peptides, goes into vasodilation with decreased blood pressure, decreased sympathetic tone. So if we talk about the difference between beneficial physiological response and pathophysiological response, so there is a large difference in beneficial physiological response. Blood pressure decrease, sympathetic tone decrease, aldosterone level diuretic decrease. And in pathophysiological response, there is a vasoconstriction, which increase blood pressure, increase sympathetic tone, and also increase aldosterone level fibrosis. So these are the difference between beneficial physiological response and pathophysiological response. Then we have it's a prescription of beta blockers. These are the carvedilol, bisoprolol, and metoprolol. AC inhibitors, lisinopril, captopril, and enalapril. Then we have angiotensin receptor blockers, losartan. Then there is a prescription. There is an example of a prescription to write patient's name, address, and there is a prescription of drug, which is the hydrochloric. The drug name is hydrochlorothiazide, which is 25 mg tab, and its dental tail dose number is 30. So this drug should be prescribed to the patient like one tab per a day. So here is the end of our topic, and thank you.